message here, one message there. Wake up! Try to take it away, try to take it away, you can't take it. Wake up! Try to take it away, try to take it away, you'll never take. It's all on my face, the lessons I've learned. These are my skills, tells a story. How great are we all, lost brothers, not perception. These are some things you can take away. All the kings and queens, moving pawns around. Lies on the floor, lies in the house. Don't you see what they're doing? No more control. Indecision here, indecision there. Wake up! Try to take it away, try to take it away, you can't take it. Try to take it away, try to take it away, you'll never take.
What is up, and welcome to another episode of Who Gave the Drummer a Mic. I am solo on this one. Mike and Chris are out, obviously. It is a very special Mother's Day, so they're with their moms right now. But I do have three special guests today, and I'm very proud to bring in. I have Mr. Chris Deets from the band. I was reading your name like Deets Beats.
I threw you aside.
Chris Deets from the band Doppelganger. I have Mr. Grant Brooks from the band Through Fire. And I have Mr. Cameron Franklin from Fate Destroyed. What is up, gentlemen?
What's up?
What's going on?
How was you guys' Mother's Day?
Pretty good. My mom's really far away, so.
I want to say, are you actually moved to LA now, or are you still in Colorado?
No, I do that in June. I'm in Colorado until June, yeah.
Gotcha.
Not much longer.
Well, it is a very special episode. Thank you, gentlemen, for taking time out of your day and being on the show. We know, it is Mother's Day. That's why I kind of ran the show a little bit later, give that time. But we are here to talk gear. We're here to talk drums. We're here to talk shows. Obviously, tours are coming back, so we are going to plug the shit out of everything you guys got going on. Of course, that you can talk about because, obviously with a lot going on, there are some surprises that are still waiting to be announced. And, we're not going to sit here and ruin anybody's fun. So let's kind of get underway. Mr. Chris Deets, you up there in the corner, we'll go ahead and, tell us about your band. And then if you want to go into your drums, what you use, what you play, sponsors, obviously give them a shout out and stuff.
I play for Doppelganger. I'm a Capricorn. I like long walks on the beach. I play Sonar. When I was touring full time with a couple different bands, was playing different things. Like I played a Truth custom kit, and that was super sick. And then I played a DW kit, and that was awesome. But my main kit's a Sonar, and then I just switched back to Sabian cymbals. Okay. Evans heads, and then Vic First 6 and Pearl pedals actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
Eliminators, double chain.
So I went to the direct drives when I was touring full time, and I love them because I like something where whatever my feet do, the pedal's going to do.
Right.
And I played the Axis and some of the other ones like the Trick, and they're just super light, and they really respond to like almost a millimeter away from the pedal or from the head. Right. But I need something with power, and those had it. Loved them. They broke. So then I went back to the Eliminators that I started with, and I fucking love them.
Gotcha. No, you can never go wrong with Eliminators. Obviously, one of our guests that we've had on here before, Morgan Rose, big, huge, Pearl sponsor, Pearl Eliminators and stuff.
Yeah, he's a homie.
I do know a lot of people prefer, the Eliminators. There's the DWs, there's the Iron Cobras, there are the Trick pedals. There's a lot of people are, depending on as far as like like I've tried the direct drive, but it's the bands that I usually play with aren't really into that speed or whatnot. And
Yeah.
that's all I see is a lot with those direct drives is they're more about the speed.
Definitely.
So your Chimera, Fear Factory, Lamb of God, big heavy users of them.
Oh, dude, when we toured with Chimera, I did a sound check with them, and I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to play Nothing Remains. I'm going to, make them really stoked. They're going to ask me to play drums for them. They're going to kick Austin out of the band. It's going to be awesome. And then I sat behind and played it, and I was like, I sound like horse shit. This sucks. And that's why I like the direct drives too, because like it's one of those pedals that you can really dive into your settings. So, I want to sound like my kick drum's triggered without it being triggered. Now, Granted, I do like a blending of both. So it's the trigger plus the head. But even if shit just fucking breaks, I want you to be able to hear my drums and hear what I'm doing. And just there was a setting there and it just worked and it was perfect.
Nice.
But also I think too, it has to do with your technique, In theory, any stick, kit, pedal you sit behind, you should just be able to play something.
Absolutely. Now tell us more about your band Doppelganger. Where are you guys based out of? We are based out of the Quad Cities in Iowa. Okay.
I joined them about 5 years ago when they were a 6-piece. We're now an instrumental 3-piece.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I just fired everybody. I'm just kidding. We families happened, life happened, and then we were gonna get a vocalist after he left, but the stuff we were writing we thought might hinder, because when you're writing stuff you had to take into account, I want to do a lead here or a fill, but is it going to hinder the vocals? Is it going to hinder the overall feel? And we're like, well, fuck it, we'll just stick instrumental. And
so kind of like Night versus Animal as leaders.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or even like Veil of Maya with no vocals.
Right.
We are, with our new stuff, we are going to do 1 or 2 songs with a vocalist, but that's, go the apocalypto route.
Right. Not wrong with that.
Yeah.
Do you guys have music out there? Spotify, everything, people can look it up.
Oh yeah. Facebook, Spotify, YouTube. We just tracked a new single. I finished the drums about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And then other than that, I just recently did a single for 3 Years Hollow. I know those guys very, very well. So I fill in for them for like tours and stuff every now and again. And, that's about it, dude. Ever since I stopped touring full time and did the family thing, this is just kind of where things have fell.
Now, do you guys have anything coming up as far as tour-wise, show-wise?
No, the one thing that we're doing is we're not going to do any albums anymore. Because especially with like Spotify, when you put out the album, you can only choose like one single.
Right.
So you might have an album full of fucking bangers, but you can only, really promote that one, and then you have to like re-release them as singles. Well, since it's also, just the capacity for how we take in music is just so fast and so quick.
Yeah.
We figured just why not put out singles now every couple months, put out videos.
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of I don't want to say advice. I think they're more suggestions, but a lot of actually bands and producers, and I don't want to sit there and fully say like management agencies or whatnot, are actually telling their bands more or less to release EPs more than full lengths, because you put so much money into 10 to 11, 12, 15 songs on an album, but how many of those are actually being really fully listened to? So that's why it's like they're more or less suggesting, guess what? It's cheaper to sit here and do a 5-song EP and know that they're probably going to listen to it front to back. And if they really enjoy it, they're going to keep listening to all 5 of those songs over and over and over again. And plus, it gives Spotify, Apple Music, and a lot of like radio shows, satellite or FM, actually lesser of a library to listen to. Hey, here's our CD, go and listen to it. Do you really think those stations are going to listen to 10 songs and decide what they want to put on their radio? No, give them 5 songs, because they're probably going to listen to all 5 compared to all 10.
Well, not only that, I mean, with the rate that new music and new artists are coming out now compared to, let's say, when Metallica put out the Black Album, I mean, you had to go to the record store, pick it up, and then that was your only thing that you could consume for, and they toured for that album for 3 fucking years. Whereas now, you could put out an album, you're going to do that initial like hype on social media, and then unless you're touring full time and you're that size, oh shit, this other band I like just put out something else and you just forgot about that band. So if you do the singles, you're just constantly in their face.
Absolutely. So we're going to move on. I would say we got Mr. Grant Brooks. Yep, there you go. Mr. Grant Brooks, Through Fire.
What's up? I'm Brooks.
Welcome. Thank you.
Out of Omaha, Nebraska, called Through Fire. We're signed to Sumerian Records, and I've been playing Tama drums since I was probably 14 years old. I cannot get away from the sound of their kits. You can have those kits like tuned bad and still get a good sound out of them. I use Zildjian custom cymbals, Vader drumsticks, and here recently, you guys were talking about pedals and everything. I'm a big fan of those Pearl Demon drives as well, but I switched here recently to the Speed Cobras. I don't know if y'all have tried those yet, but they're more of a lightweight pedal, and they are so smooth. Like I don't use direct drive either, but these almost feel close to a direct drive, but they have more weight, so it's like your heel toe, everything just seems so much more smooth and easier with those pedals. You should definitely check them out sometime. They're newer.
Makes sense.
I won't go to any other pedal now after using those, but let's see. I use Remo heads. Been using those for years. Can't beat the sound out of those. I like Evans heads as well, but those Remo pinstripes on the toms, you just can't get.
Oh, absolutely. I would say Remo is the only snare head that I use, but as far as the rest of them, I use the EC2s from the Evans for my toms and my.
Right.
Yep.
Awesome.
I would say, well, you are from Through Fire. I would say you guys are on Sumerian Records, and I do know one tour was announced earlier as far as, with everything coming back. You are going on tour with Fozzy.
That is correct, and it's crazy. When COVID hit, we was actually supposed to do that tour like back in. It was supposed to start in March of 2020, and it was like right when the tour was about to start. We got to push it back. We got to push it back. Got to push it back, and now finally we've locked in the fall, and I think we're finally going to hit the road then. So I'm like just itching for a show. I literally haven't got to see any of my bands since December 2019, because I'm actually from Mississippi and my whole band's out of the Omaha, Nebraska area. So it's not like I can just be like, hey guys, I'm coming to hang out, So but before the
let's get together and rehearse. Let's practice.
I know, right? It's crazy. Before the Fozzy tour starts, we actually have a big festival. We're playing River Ride Fest. I think the date on that's August 14th. So it'd be great. It's a hometown show to us. It's like 30 minutes past Omaha and Iowa City. So really looking forward to that as well. So
what's the date on that one?
August 14th, I believe. So
ooh, that's weird.
Down the days for that.
So when are you going to be in Iowa City actually?
In Iowa City, I should be in Iowa City around. Probably we'll be there August 13th, August 14th, somewhere in there.
Well, I was going to say, if you're free August 11th, I'm going to hit you up because actually my band Mag Dillon will be on tour with Head PE, and we're actually at the Wildwood there in Iowa City on August 11th.
Oh man, I'll have to come hang with you if we're there. That's a great venue. We played there. We were on a headline run, and Saul. We toured the U.S. with those guys, and that was like one of the final shows, and it was a packed house. Really, really fun place to play.
Yes, and their barbecue is to die for, literally. You'll
Isn't
eat
it,
their
though?
barbecue, and you're like,
Yes,
nope, I'm going back to the bus, and I got to take a nap.
When I got there, everyone was like, "Try their barbecue, try their barbecue." And I'm close to Memphis, so I was like, I don't know if this is gonna touch Memphis barbecue. So going in there, I was very impressed.
You're like, there's a big difference from the southern barbecue and then everywhere else barbecue.
Right. It was so good though. That's the one thing that I remember was how good that barbecue was. This fire.
And the hospitality is amazing. I want to say, in that venue alone, it's weird because that stage is literally taller than the average human being. Like, you literally actually have to look up almost 2 to 3 feet above you to actually watch this show. So it's definitely,
cool, though.
it's definitely one of those venues that's like, cool, I don't have to worry about my pedals getting stepped on or bumped or drinks falling on it. It's like, yes, we need more venues like this.
Oh, it's great, man. When you get them low stages, you have to worry about people falling on the stage, everything. For sure.
Oh, yeah, I got plenty of stories I can tell on some non-point runs, but we'll save that for another time. So besides the Fozzy run, what other stuff does Through Fire have in the books?
Well, we're actually
in store that you can talk about.
I can definitely talk about this. We're writing new music, and we're actually our guitarist Justin. He's kind of the main songwriter, writes all the songs for the band. He's been working with 3 Days Grace, and we're writing songs with those guys. And then I think we're hitting the studio sometime in the summer to write some new music. So we'll hopefully have some new music out. Got the Fozzy run coming up, so it's nice. Things are finally getting back to normal. So all these, it makes me so happy seeing all these tours going out, and it's like, wow, this don't even seem real. Yeah,
I was gonna say, a year and a half, we're like, okay, this is the new norm. Fuck it.
Exactly.
And now you're like, oh my God, now it does feel like it's like 2019, 2021. What the fuck happened? We don't even talk about it. I mean, it's like there was no 2020. That year just doesn't even exist anymore.
I'm just stuck in Mississippi, just like waiting to leave. I'm like, gosh, like, this is the longest I've ever been at home. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I've been going crazy, just ready to get on the road.
Go into your basement and record videos.
That's exactly what I've been doing, 100%.
So for you viewers, Grant, actually, if you do go to his personal page, I don't know if you have an artist page, but there are a lot of his covers he does put on Facebook. You have a YouTube channel?
I actually, here lately, I've been using TikTok like crazy. I've been loving TikTok. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, under T-Fire Brooks. And you can also, we've got a band page on Instagram, T-Fire Music, our Facebook page, Through Fire Music. And we just created a Through Fire TikTok account too, T-Fire Music. We've been posting a lot of stuff on there, getting that going. So,
absolutely.
So
and I mean,
where it's at right now, man. It's really neat.
It is, and it kind of makes it, granted, before TikTok, it actually used to be called Musical.ly. So, I mean, it kind of like coincided when the name changes. It's kind of weird because actually I kind of went through my list today. I was like, Musical.ly. I'm like, delete. It's like these people don't even have videos anymore. It's like, did they not just keep up with how it changed and everything? But no, it's perfect because, it doesn't have like a bunch of garbage. I mean, there is some garbage on there, but I will say it's like, you can record up to a minute of video. So it's perfect for like doing shit on tour. Be like, hey, today we're in, Omaha, Nebraska. So you sit here and you see what's going on, but, you're not over, getting buried with, okay, it's like, this is getting boring. I'm going to move on to the next video. It's almost straight, direct to the point. And then the nice feature is you can actually do stuff and alter with it, which is, makes for something enjoyable as well.
Right, and you don't have to. What I like about it, you don't have to like sponsor videos on there near as much. Like you can get videos that hit off there without putting any money behind it. Like you have to sponsor post on Facebook, Instagram, all that. Like on TikTok, it's not near, that hard to get exposure compared to other social media sites now.
Absolutely. And Mr. Cameron Franklin, he is. Don't want to really say new, but I will say you are new to Fate Destroyed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just joined like a couple months ago, something like that. And yeah, now I'm moving out to LA next month because they're all out there. So waited in all the travel I'd have to do back and forth. Just makes sense to just be out there. So,
True story. And actually, where are you living right now?
Denver, Colorado. Yeah, I've been here for like 9 years, almost 10. So
nice. And what are we playing? Sponsors, endorsements? Lay it all out there. Tell people what you use and let them know what to check out.
Yeah, so I play SJC drums. I play a Providence kit. It's pretty sweet. It's a maple kit, but it's got like 45-degree edges, so it kind of borders that line on like vintage and modern. I really like it.
Weird.
I play Evans drum heads, EC2s on the toms. Usually a Gennaro dry for the snare.
Nice.
Pretty good go-to. Because I play a pretty deep snare, like an 8 by 14. So.
Holy shit, that is pretty damn deep. You might as well just put a marching snare on there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But yeah, I really I have a preference for vinyl cymbals a lot. I like having like really bright cymbals for the crash, and then like the effect cymbals and like ride and hats. I kind of like the drier, more articulate sound a lot.
Yeah.
I just think it's like versatile for rock and whatever else you want to do.
Absolutely.
And then I play Pearl Demon Drives. I've been playing on those pedals for maybe like 12, 13 years now. I'm kind of
I'm the odd man out here. It's like everybody's on these like, quick drive ones, and I'm like, I got DW 7000s over here.
Yeah, a good buddy of mine has some of those trick Bigfoots, and I really like those. Kind of open to like trying something else. I don't know. I really like just playing on different things, honestly.
Right.
But
you're a gear junkie.
Yeah. I'm a gear nerd. Like, I don't know. I'm sure all of us are kind of. So.
As long as some of us have been playing, I know we end up actually having session art, or actually a couple guys. We had Johnny C and I can't remember who, Brian. Can't remember. They're pretty much like studio session artists. Johnny C is actually a drum tech also. Can't remember who he drums for because it's been a week now, but it's like we got so nerdy last episode that it's like, oh yeah, I got this snare and I got about 8 more right behind it. It's like, I have 2.
Yeah, as far as like drum collecting, like owning multiple kits, maybe not so much. That's kind of like inconvenient, but you could own like 100 snares. Like that's okay. Yeah.
That's what everybody says too.
It's like a guitar. You can just like pick one. You can have like a bunch of snares in one wall,
Okay, this is the metal show, so I'm gonna grab this snare, and this snare. I'll take these 3 with me.
But no, I only have 1 snare.
I would say we know what you guys are all playing on. Fate Destroyed. What do you guys have coming up?
Yeah, so we have like a little headlining show in LA at the end of June. Just kind of a first show back. Like we need to all play together.
Right?
Like I haven't even played with these guys yet, so there's that. So we're doing that, and then we're playing Rebel Rock in September.
Oh
yeah, and we're playing another festival that we haven't been announced for yet, and then we have a full U.S. tour that we're currently working on. And that's all I can say about that. But awesome. We're going to do a full U.S. tour in October, so that should be pretty cool. So we got a pretty busy year ahead of us.
I would say with the year entailing as far as musically, not the app. I would say there's probably just nonstop makeup for the last year and a half that a lot of people are doing, and
everyone's thirsty.
yes, there is that. And here's going to be like my first question and like opinions from you guys, because I know Facebook, not really on Instagram or any of the other platforms, but it's like the big drama right now is why the hell did all these festivals end up actually stacking like right on top of each other? So you have like Incarceration is the same exact time as Blue Ridge Rock Fest. Then you have Rebel Rock, which is actually going the same exact time that Louder Than Life is going.
Yeah.
And then there are a few more festivals. There's, I don't know Sonic Temple, but there's Aftershock. But granted, Aftershock's not until October. So they're kind of clear of that whim. But I know Welcome to Rockville is also slated in September as well. And then if any more of the Danny Wimmer stuff besides Aftershock, Inc., and Welcome to Rockville usually have, I think they did away with Carolina Rebellion, but there's also Rocklahoma and stuff. So it's like
it's a crazy couple months in the industry.
it is pretty much, end of August, there is the Isolated Metal of the Mountains, which is the end of August, kind of kicking off the festival season. Granted, there's a little festivals as far as in a lot of areas, like Grant, you're doing one in Iowa City. I know Magdalene is doing one called the Band-Aid Music Festival actually here in June. It's like a nonprofit one, but there's so many diverse genres of music. I think actually the practically only metal band on that one. But again, going back to my question is like, we'll start with Cameron on this one. What's your opinion as far as on all these festivals literally just being right on top of each other? But the thing that I noticed was actually kind of cool though is like Incarceration, like I said, is the same time as Blue Ridge. The artists are actually on both festivals. So, Incarceration's 4 days, Rebel Rock is 4 days, Blue Ridge is 4 days. I haven't really looked into the other ones, but it's like, one band is on one day and then they shoot right over as far as location wise. But, coming from your viewpoint is like, what's your viewpoint on as far as obviously everybody's thirsty, but
I think it totally kind of makes sense just because of the circumstances, and also like a lot of it's so regional that the same people aren't going to be at the same festivals, but the bands are, and the bands playing these multiple festivals kind of plan around that too. Like I feel like that's kind of a convenient thing maybe.
Right.
So and most people don't go to 10 festivals in a year,
Right.
So it's I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's a little weird and it's a little crazy, but I think it'll be okay. I think it's
Any opinions on this, Grant, at all, or are you just excited to be out there?
I personally think it's a great idea. Like, I think all these, like Danny Wilmer and all these, are doing a great job. Like, just as soon as it's out, because if you look on Facebook or anything right now, you're already seeing that they're already sold out. Like, I think when all
Absolutely.
these tours start back, all these festivals start back, it's going to come back bigger than ever. And I think it's actually going to help us all out as artists selling tickets, selling shows, festivals, because I think, it's been over 2 years since anyone's got to go out and do anything. So you're going to be seeing people that probably never come to shows that are now going to, just to have something to do in their area. So I think it's really exciting.
And I'm glad that you actually made that point, because as far as festival season is concerned, it literally has been over 2 years for festivals, because this hit in, obviously COVID. Granted, it may have started late 2019, but, festivals don't really run after September, October. And then obviously with everything shutting down in March, obviously no festivals ran at all. So there was literally almost a whole practically 2 years before any festivals have actually been played. And it
Right,
is a
right.
lot different festival wise than it is actually just regular concerts, because regular concerts, obviously you're going to a venue, you're paying your ticket prices, but you're literally only seeing those bands that one time only until later on in the year. Now with the festivals, it's like you are literally going for 4 days, 3 days, 2 days, whichever, but you're seeing, you know, Blue Ridge, for example, 180 bands, 6 stages, 4 days.
That festival
So
is
it's
insane. That lineup is insane so far.
Yeah, every day they
Awesome.
have just like every announcement, just like what?
absolutely. And this is where I was going into, which is where I kind of like thought that it was convenient, because granted, you know, incarceration is just in Ohio, and then obviously just straight east in Virginia is Blue Ridge. So, you know, it kind of also worked out a lot in the band's favors because of the routing situation. So it does make it a lot easier. And then also with incarceration selling out, it's kind of, you know, kind of like you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back, towards like incarceration sold out. Now it's going to give all the people that are, you know, going to miss that opportunity of incarceration. Hey, guess what? If you want to see these bands again, or, you know, if you weren't able to get a chance to, hey, shoot over real quick about 2 states and they're going to be over here at Blue Ridge.
Right. Everything's going to sell out, man. People are hungry to see shows, 100%.
Absolutely. Mr. Chris Deets, your opinion. We haven't got one from you. Side eye over here, be like, oh, now you're going to call on me.
I think everybody's just hungry to book, you know. Even when we thought everything was going to open up, you know, promoters were already starting to like release shows before bands were, and you know, everybody's so hungry to jump at the first, you know, we're the first ones out there, come to our festival first. But I also think they're looking at where bands are going routing wise, because now that everybody's going out, at least let's say for a venue standpoint, we now had to compete with comedians that come through those same venues, other bands, other genres, and you know, everybody's just trying to get that date. So I can even see our routing as messed up as it used to be. Maybe starting from LA, going to Texas, then going up to Colorado, then going to Florida. It's going to be even worse.
Right. So the festivals are kind of helping roll it around, because like I said, you know, Florida and Louder Than Live, Kentucky and Florida are kind of running at the same time. It's like, cool, you know, we're going to play, you know, Louder Than Life on Thursday. Obviously, that kind of gives us a 1 or 2 day trip down to Florida where we can play Tennessee, we can play Alabama or Mississippi, and then roll into Florida on the day that we're booked there, or, you know, vice versa, so on and so forth.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, some of these guys that book these festivals, you know, they need money for the packages coming in. So at least to have a big festival starting out first, you know, we can at least start with a good budget, you know.
Absolutely. Real quick question. Miles from Saul wants to know, Grant, when are you guys going to roll together again?
Tell Miles we're playing River Riot with them. We'll be hanging then. They're on that festival with us.
There you go, Miles. Iowa
Can't
City, River Riot.
Give a
Okay.
shout out to them Saul boys. Love those guys.
Yeah. Actually, as like I will say, for anybody we're talking about as far as with Blue Ridge, I'm also working it. I'm actually one of the stage managers, so it definitely. I know I'm gonna see Miles over there. I'm gonna see Zev. I'm gonna see Morgan from Seven. Some of the cast that we've had, and then if any of these guys, you know, do get announced, is like definitely it'd be awesome to kind of like. We'll kind of get like a little who gave the drummer a mic, you know, reunion here and pictures and kind of like, yeah, this is what happened my weekend. I had every member that I've had on here.
It'll be awesome.
I would say not a lot of questions or comments coming in. Usually our biggest talker is Mike, and he's not here, so usually he has all the different little questions. But I'll see. Let's see. Actually, no. Here we go. We'll start with Grant on this one. When did you start? How long have you been playing? And who really, kind of gave you the inspiration of, picking up a pair of sticks?
I started playing drums when I really got heavily into Metallica in school. I was like a big time outcast, had hardly no friends. So I always turned to music. That was my outlet all throughout school. And 13 hit, I really wanted to start, figuring out what instrument to play. And it was always, drums was always in the back of my mind. I wanted to play drums. So my dad, very thankful for him. He was super supportive of it, bought me my first kit, and all self-taught, no lessons. And I've been playing nonstop ever since. Every day, I'm always trying to better myself. As you guys all know, in drums, there's always something to learn. Always. So
Absolutely. And it progresses.
Right. My biggest influence will always be Lars Ulrich from Metallica. I mean, that was, and Justice for All album did it for me. I was like, all right, I want to play drums, double bass. All this sounds so cool. Like, you can't beat it.
Favorite track off that album then?
Drum wise or favorite track in general?
Let's do both.
Drum wise would be Dyer's Eve. The first time I heard that double bass in the verses, I was like, wow. But favorite track all around would definitely be Injustice for All. Just all the different like changes in the song and like the solos. It's incredible, man.
Okay, absolutely. So, how old are you now? So, how long have you been playing?
I've been playing since I was 13, and I'll be 27 in July. So,
14 years.
Yep.
Nice.
Crazy how quick time flies.
And sometimes trying to do the math in your head, you're like, man, am I really that old?
Yeah.
Have I really been playing that long?
It don't seem that long.
And that's also when it comes to touring and stuff like that, sometimes it's like just the days roll together. You sometimes just don't even know. It's like, shit, is it Tuesday or is it Friday or is it Wednesday or is it Saturday? It's like, shit, I don't know. It's like I played the last 7 days, so I have no fucking idea what day it really is.
The worst to me is the days when you get the day off. I hate days off because like I get in the routine of playing every day, and then you get that day off, and I'm like, I'm bored. I'm ready to play a show, and then it feels. I don't know if it's just me. It always throws me off. Like I'm used to loading in. Just want to keep rolling,
Right. Absolutely. Cameron, how about you? Inspiration? When'd you start?
I've been playing since I was like 12, and I'm 30 now, so over half my life. Yeah. Inspirations. I really liked punk, rock, and metal and stuff growing up. And then in like the high school years, I got into death metal a whole lot and really liked guys that did blast beats and stuff like that. And then like the MySpace era, like the deathcore stuff, just like Warped Tour kind of music, like a lot of emo, pop punk.
Right.
Just kind of a scene kid, I guess. I don't know.
So I'll throw one name out there for you. Job for a Cowboy.
Yeah, dude. John Wright. playing all that stuff. I actually have a little Job for a Cowboy clip on my Instagram somewhere, like playing at the end of Alter from Castration, that like cool little blast part that switches up and stuff.
Yeah, I do know. my very first band I was ever a part of was actually kind of a metal cover band. Like we did have some originals, but we did like As Lay Dying. We did Between the Buried and Me, and we actually used to do Doom from Job for a Cowboy.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
yeah.
that Doom EP. But then like nowadays, you know, I'm listening to a lot of like more like jazzier drummers. Like I really like Benny Greb. I really like Anika Niles. Like people like that is who I've been kind of like obsessing over nowadays, more so than the metal.
Stepping up like the ghost note skills and
Yeah. Like I mean, like Brooks was saying like earlier, there's always something new to learn. There's always something else that you suck at, you know, that you could just be way, you know, I don't know.
right.
Like right now, I kind of want to like delve into like more Latin and independence type of stuff because I'm so godly terrible at it, you know. So
Gotcha.
there's always something that'll humble you.
Yeah, and yeah, like Grant said, is like there's always something new that somebody is doing that you want to mimic or you know try and learn how to do, and that's like what the ultimate fascination is. Even playing the drums, and with me, it's like granted, like my family, like literally grandparents, mother, uncle, and me. I'm literally the last remaining musician of my family. So and came into the drums and stuff like that. I was raised on Leonard Skinner, Charlie Daniels, the country, stuff like that. I'm just like, it's like I'm listening to it, I'm just like, man, this is just all so simple. All like it's like I need something that's like technical, something that is like I can sit here and play a 4/4 beat like all day long. And it's like, but then it's like when I turned about 12, I got introduced to Peace Sells But Who's Buying album. Actually, it was a record from my last stepdad, and I was like, "Who the hell is this?" It's like I kind of like this. It's like I was like, okay. It's like the guitars are amazing. The dude's voice is like definitely like metal, but not metal. It's like it kind of sounds like a girl a little bit, but but I was like, okay, this is something I can roll with. And then yeah, you know,
the first
just
time
like
I heard Mustaine, it was that Symphony of Destruction song. He was like, "Hello, me, meet the real me." I was like, "What?" Like 9 years old or something when I heard that.
can't
Love
damn
the
it,
Peace
can't
Sells
name the
album,
song. But yeah.
Yeah, I brought that album just because I thought the cover looked cool, like the purple like demon skeleton dude on it or whatever. That album.
Hanging in a cell.
Big
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in a jail cell.
Mhm.
Yep. So playing 18 years now. Like I asked Grant, what is the one album or drummer that kicked you off?
Probably if I had to bring it down to like one drummer ever, it'd be Joey Jordison. He probably had like the most impact on me when I was like a kid, like just starting to really like, cause you have that like first year, 2 years of playing, and then you like kind of reach a certain point where you like feel a little bit more confident. Like Joey, watching his videos and Slipknot and stuff like that did that for me.
Absolutely. So heavily Slipknot influenced, I would say then.
Yeah, for sure. That they had that Disaster Pieces DVD, and it was like the first time I ever like saw a drum cam because you had that option to switch between the cameras of different members on stage.
That was the dopest feature on any live DVD I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I would come home from school and just watch those videos over and over and over and over. Like I was obsessed with them.
And he had an insane kit. I mean, not to mind the hydraulics and being lifted upside down and spinning while playing the whole thing. But
just weird because I play a pretty small kit nowadays.
Mr. Chris Deets, when'd you start?
What are you, a cop? What's with all the questions?
I don't know.
I started the summer before my freshman year. I wanted to play drums since, honestly, I can't remember. But because of just family circumstances and where my mom and my sister were living at the time, we didn't have room for it.
Sure.
And funny enough, I actually wanted to start playing the drums because of Garth Brooks and Michael Jackson. No joke.
Okay.
So like my mom would always play MJ, and I'm like, damn, this drummer's so fucking good. And then we went and saw Garth, and his drummer always just had this sick setup in this cage, and there's lights, and he's twirling all around, and it's like a rock show but for country.
Yeah.
And I've seen the dude like 5 times now. Like I saw him when he came back,
He's
and
always been a great entertainer, though. As like,
dude,
and I mean, a lot of people don't know is Garth's actually biggest inspiration is actually Kiss.
yeah,
Was his like go-to. He's like, I live off Kiss, but he's a country musician, so he's always been an entertainer.
and I get it. And like the last time I saw him was in 2016 when he came back, and I saw him by myself, you know. And he did these tours where he's playing 5 cities or 5 shows in a week in the same city and would sell out. So if you look it up, he has outsold Beyonce, The Weeknd, Drake. He just has sold more tickets than anybody, and it's super dope.
Yeah.
And he's playing country, and it's kind of funny. But then when I started playing, I got my kit the summer freshman year, and then I actually got 3 drum teachers at that time.
Okay.
A bunch of local guys. One guy, Terry Hansen, who does jazz and a lot of reading. Another guy, John Latson, who was a church, like Chops church pocket drummer,
Sure.
who really emphasized reading as well. And then Brian West, who I'm still with today, and he was more well-rounded into interdependence, metal, but also sight reading. So he was like the encompass of like everything all in one.
Sure.
And then after high school, went off to a couple music schools, went to MI for a little bit, and then went to I moved back to the Quad Cities to take care of my mom when she was sick, and studied at a college out there. But when I was at MI, did a couple lessons with Ray Luzier, Marco Miniman, who's probably my favorite drummer, Glenn Sobel, who's just a fucking badass. And other than that, I just practiced all the time. I was super into books, really into books. And I kind of went through different phases. Like in high school, would set up my kit like Lars and Joey, who were, I mean, dude, I went out after I got that Disaster Pieces DVD. I went out and tried to find those fucking Adidas. I got the Adidas. I got the head sticks. I got his first signature snare, which is in Italy, unfortunately. And I mean, and then I got Lars's head sticks, which I was like, these are garbage and too heavy, but just like emulated everything they did. And like, just like Grant was saying, like, dude, Dyer's Eve, so fucking dope. And they recorded that on tape.
Dude, you can still find that Joey snare at so many music stores. They made so many of those things.
Yeah.
That time.
The second one sucks, but that first one is a cannon.
That
And
snare
it's
sounded so
yeah,
good.
there's
I
two
remember
versions.
that thing.
So good.
And that was actually a porcupine.
Yeah.
Snare.
Dude.
Oh, I didn't
And
know
he was
that.
playing Orange County Kid at that time. Like,
Yep.
so dope. And then I went to like more pop punk, and like, I know everybody loves Blink-182, and I'm going to get trash for this, but Sum 41 was my jam. Okay. Sum 41 is better. They've always been a better band. I mean, Does This Look Infected beats out Blink-182's discography. Let's not even lie. Okay.
I like both.
Yeah. But I would always just set up my kits in those like different sort of just variations, like a metal kit, 4-piece, 3-piece. When I found out about Periphery, like I just had the one tom, and then I was like, I'm not this good, so I added the rest of my toms.
Definitely a well suited band right there. That's like definitely brings up like the technicality to where you're like, shit, this is a lot to learn between like Periphery, Tesseract, Veil of Maya. It's just like,
oh, dude, and Sith, like, come on.
Yep.
And then I super got into death metal, Suffocation. I mean, fucking Mike Smith, dude, is the blast king. All these kids coming out doing their little doubles with their double bass and their, quantized snare for their blast. this dude is over here with marching sticks just going, and it's just so dope. And doing it one-footed, I mean, come on. And then you had Derek Roddy, who's doing claves while he's doing blast beats, and they're calling him One Take Roddy, and you're like, why am I even doing this?
It makes you want to quit.
Yeah,
I'm out.
And it's crazy because like I didn't even discover death metal till I got into Marco, because Marco ended up touring with Necrophagus for a little bit. So I was studying out of like his books, and this kind of ties into your other question, but like the reason I feel like he was such a big prolific figure like in my upbringing is like this dude is a virtuoso who can play and do whatever he wants, play in any style. His limbs are completely free, but it's musical.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm thinking, all right, I love hip hop, I love pop, I like jazz, I like country, I like all this stuff. So why not kind of encompass, you know, the sort of practice routine to do that? And he had that.
Absolutely. Nice. We did actually have one question. We'll start back with you, Chris. What is one band you want to tour with that you haven't yet?
The Weeknd. It will never happen, but I want to tour with The Weeknd because he's so fucking dope.
Okay. Honestly, that's surprising, but it's actually good to know. Because a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, they usually stick to the same genre. But, I mean, that halftime performance show.
Oh, don't even get me started.
That thing was the shit. The fact that he paid for it.
Yeah.
He didn't get paid for it. He paid for that halftime show.
Yeah, put in $7 million. I mean, the thing that I like about him is, I mean, granted, he's been out since 2011. But in that kind of, I guess, realm of pop, it's almost like that Lou Pearlman, Backstreet Boys effect where it's, yes, the artist is the face, but it's like 15 other people behind you that are actually, you know, writing and doing the stuff.
Right.
With him, he plays with the live band, so he's had the same band since he started, which is always super impressive, I think, to see with an artist, you know?
Yeah.
And then two, it's always been him, his best friend, and then these basically two producers collectively writing this music and putting out stuff against what's going on. I mean, he's talking about drugs, sex, addiction, you know. He's one of the biggest artists in the world, and he put out a video recently with his head chopped off, you know, and
I haven't seen that one.
These two chicks are basically murdering a guy to sew his head back on his body so they can fuck him. And you're just like, this is dope. He's a pop artist, and he's doing basically a Cannibal Corpse video. Like, come on. And he sings live. Like, yeah. I get, like, going back to the halftime show, everybody was like, oh, it's not on this part, but think about the performances they're calling back to. You're talking about everything else that popped up in that performance other than the artist. Right. And for that performance, it was him. You Absolutely. Know, you're seeing his show. He's the artist. You know, it's not, oh, did you see who fucking Justin Timberlake brought in, or did you see the fireworks or this marching band? You're watching the artist and him perform it his best. And how can you not, you know, respect that?
And the whole halftime show wasn't like, it was choreographed, but literally, like, with him paying for everything, it was all his ideas. Like, exiting, the 50-yard, because obviously we couldn't sit there and, rush 50-yard line and sit there and have a bunch of people on it. So he's like, fine, if we can't do that, I'm going to bring the show to the crowd then. So, he actually exited the field and actually had it all over the stadium.
Dude, and the sickest thing is like, if you know his discography, the transition that he had to start into Blinding Lights, the song that he played was the very first song he ever released when he was homeless. So basically, as an artist, you're like, holy shit, I'm playing the song that I put out when I was basically homeless and nobody knew who the fuck I was. And, I'm living this CD life to now transitioning into my biggest song. Like, how dope.
Very, very, very much so.
And again, I would want to tour with them because their drummer might have accident, he might disappear, and all of a sudden I'm behind the kid. And, you know.
So you better start learning his material there, Chris.
Oh, I already know it. Okay.
I figured you were going to say that. How about you, Grant? What's one band you went on a tour with that you haven't yet?
I think my band, we're a radio rock band, so I would absolutely love to see us either land a 3 Days Grace or Breaking Benjamin tour. I think that would be like an awesome match. You know, we're
Oh,
both
absolutely. I
spin-
totally agree.
we both get spins on Octane and radios everywhere, and that would be a dream come true for me to tour with those guys.
Now, here's even a second to that question then. Would it be the 3 Days Grace now, or would it be the 3 Days Grace with Adam?
I would be happy either way, as long as we're on the 3 Days Grace tour. It would make me happy.
Their management is watching right now, like, you better fucking answer right.
Well, no, I remember last year there was like that heavy talks that Adam was returning to 3 Days Grace, which would be dope. You know, it was. You know, he went off, did his solo thing. They got the new guy. I know when I worked with Nonpoint, we've actually did a couple shows with 3 Days Grace with the new guy. Guy's cool, very humbling and stuff like that. I've never gotten a chance to see 3 Days Grace with Adam. So for myself alone, I would love to see, 3 Days Grace with Adam. But obviously, I've already seen him with the new guy. Good show, great show. Both of them are great performers. But like I said, one of the things that I haven't seen,
Right.
kind of, figuratively speaking and not wanting to talk about, but I turned 40 this year. And, it's going to be like one of those things that, I grew up on 3 Days Grace and I never got to see with Adam.
I actually did right when I seen him with Adam right when the I think it was the 1X album come out with Pain and all that.
Yeah.
They were like the headliner. Shinedown was like direct support then, and man, I'll never forget that show. My dad carried me. I was like, wow.
I think
that's what I want to do.
Shinedown just released the Amaryllis album, I think, is when that was, because 1X came out, it had Riot and to the Pain or Pain on that one. For some
I think
reason,
it was before Amaryllis. It was before Amaryllis, I'm pretty sure.
Second and Sound of Madness?
I believe it may have been right around that time frame of Sound of Madness, if I can remember.
Okay.
I mean, it was right in 3 Days Grace, right when Pain was out on radio, all that was out.
Gotcha.
So.
And how about you, Cameron?
Well, I just joined the band, so I mean, I'm not, totally sure or what they would maybe say. I would say, I would like to think we would fit in with most Octane bands.
Sure.
For me personally, though, I would pick Fall Out Boy, even though that wouldn't be a good fit or probably wouldn't happen. I just really love Fall Out Boy. If I could play for any band in the world, it would be Fall Out Boy. Because for multiple reasons in my childhood, I feel like I could play that music.
Sure.
And also their newer stuff has a good amount of pad work in it and rubbing. So that would kind of challenge me too. So
I'll say, but if you did that, now can you sing? Because one of their vocalists is the drummer also.
No. I'd be like, you guys have to backtrack him.
Dude, it's crazy when they're not touring. He plays in like a local hardcore band.
I know, Andy. Yeah, he's so sick.
They're so sick.
I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to check those guys out. That's cool.
Yeah.
They all have like hardcore roots in the Chicago scene back in the day.
Yeah, they had a house in Milwaukee that I partied at a couple of times when I was in a band up there, and it was called Fuck Mansion.
Of course.
It was dope. Dude, speaking of Breaking Benjamin, I'm good friends with Sean, their drummer. It blows my mind. They don't play to a click live.
Really?
Yeah.
I've heard that.
I've heard that. I had a massive anxiety attack after I heard that.
Hailstorm don't play to a click either. They're all live.
Dude, it blows my mind. Like when I did some shows and tour with 3 Years Hollow, like they, they're straight up rock and they don't really play to a click at all either. So I ended up I told Jose, I was like, listen, I get it, but I'm programming clicks and I'm playing to a click. And they're like, we should have been doing this the whole time.
I feel naked without my click track rolling. Like I literally feel like I'm missing underwear or something. I'm so used to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, and the best is when you fuck up, I was filling in for this band Phineas. Like I used to tour with them pretty consistently. And, they're straight up double bass shred metal. And it's my first tour and we're playing this song Crowns and it's towards the end of the song. We maybe have 50 seconds left and it's just a breakdown. It's just like a breakdown beat, snare on 2 and 4. And I'm just like, da-da-da-da, down. They play with 4 members. They have a backtrack guitar. So I'm doing this and then you just hear da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. So there was still like a minute left of the song and I was like, what the fuck? Fuck.
Oh no.
You're like, oops, damn.
Yeah. They're like, you're fired.
This is music.
You're like, no, just watch me. Cue on me. You're supposed to cue on the drummer anyway.
Listen, I get the backtrack guitar is the tightest member in the band, but I think he fucked up tonight. I think there was a glitch.
Of it.
True story.
Dude, or the worst is playing Trees in Dallas. Their stage rumbles so much. I used to have so much like malfunction. Like it would even be like a solid state MacBook on, all those pads, just to make things not shake and still my shit's skipping.
You're exactly right. I've played that venue. The stage does move like crazy. You think it's going to collapse sometimes.
Yeah, and then I was playing.
Exactly what you're talking about.
I was playing with a band from Italy, so they're just cussing me out in Italian, and I'm just like, I don't know what you're saying. It's fine. It's the stage.
I would say, then going into that, Cameron, have you played with bands before Fate Destroyed, or were you just basically an independent artist?
Yeah, just like some local bands and stuff. I've done like the 2-week run kind of thing, a decent amount here and there. But so yeah, this band I'm in is like the biggest thing I've done so far.
First, national stuff, basically coast to coast.
Yeah.
So then, with that being said, what personally maybe has been like your worst moment or flub or funny thing that's happened to you on stage?
Oh God.
If any.
One time. One time I experimented with Xanax for the first time before a show. It was like a Halloween show, and yeah, it was so bad, man. I don't even know if I want to tell the story. I was filling in for a band, and I was just like so bad. I was just like forgetting things, and just like it was like one of the worst things you could have imagined. Like we didn't even play like the last 2 songs. They're just like, yeah, fuck this. Like fuck this.
For you kids watching,
I was like,
he just needed to calm down, which Xanax is prescribed for. It's like jitters.
I don't remember that much of that night, but my friends told me like how bad I did and shit. Like it's just like one of the worst feelings. And never wanted to do that again, and I haven't done that since. So I was 18 at the time. So
it happens. We have all had our stuff. How about you, Grant? Missing clicks or?
It's funny that you asked this question because you was actually at the show that the most embarrassing thing happened to me here recently.
I was.
Remember when the power cut off on us? Everything cut off. And I'm literally, I've got my in-ears in, so I don't know what's going on. I'm just playing. Next thing I know, band's walking off stage. We have no power, and I'm just playing acoustic drums, not mic'd or anything. And then finally got the power back on.
Grant literally kept playing while the rest of the band was just gone. He literally played like a minute, and everybody turned around and looked at him and be like, dude, stop. He's like, why? What happened?
I had my in-ears in. I had no idea. No, I was just trolling.
But
Happens,
yeah, that's
though.
what happens when you get 8 headliners and all that power on one stage. It literally was just like, whoop, just gone out. I mean, no lights, no nothing.
It was embarrassing, but it was out of our control. I mean, there was nothing we could do.
Absolutely.
It wasn't your fault.
How about you, Chris? I mean, you kind of already you're fired.
I'll tell you two. One is an embarrassing moment that will bring us all together, and one will be a story that will make Cameron feel more comfortable about his Xanax taking. So my worst show that I played, which I thought was going to be my best show, was when I took an eighth of mushrooms.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's a no-no.
And I was playing with Phineas at the time, and their guitar player at the time. We're like, this is going to be a really good idea. And it was not. And this sounds dumb. It wasn't my playing, but the thing that kept fucking me up is I didn't attach my in-ear cord to the back of my shirt. So I'm sweating profusely, and my in-ears are just sliding down my back. And even though they have these, little ear holders, they're just going lower and lower. And I just I literally felt like I was like this.
Yep. and then sometimes you sit on your cord and you're like, yank. You're like, son of a bitch.
And then probably the most embarrassing moment is we all know venues have horrible bathrooms. I was playing with Phineas, and we played this festival up in Vegas with Silent Planet, and it's in a warehouse. It's away from the strip. It's in a warehouse kind of setting, and I really needed the shit, dude. Like super bad. Like it was bubble guts. It was gonna be, dude. So I had a friend of mine take me to a gas station that was nearby, no door. So I was like, fuck this. So I had him take me back to the venue, and right near the venue was a boat yard where people would just prop up their boats. It's not on water. So I hopped this fence. I'm like, guys, I'll be back. Okay. I need to go pray or, find God or something. And I plop underneath a fucking town boat, and I just explode my entire insides underneath this fucking boat. Didn't have any toilet paper. Was where, because when you come on tour, your first tour, you overpack. And by your 60th tour, you've underpacked to the point where you're just I'm wearing 3 shirts, and one of them's my show shirt. And I had my favorite black shirt, and I just had to take it off and use it to clean myself up. And I came back shirtless, looking like I'd been through fucking Vietnam. And they're like, where'd you go? And I'm just like, I don't know. And then you just hear some guy off in the distance, somebody took a shit. And I'm like, oh.
And definitely some good times out on the road.
Dude, the best.
Oh,
dude, I was playing in Prague.
Bathrooms.
Dude, I was playing in Prague one time, and there must have been a fire in the kitchen or something, but the sprinklers start going off, fire trucks show up, and this is a 5-band tour, so it's Upon the Stawning, who I was playing with at the time, more than 1,000 from Portugal, Polar from the UK, and then Betraying the Martyrs.
Ooh.
So everybody's out front, and we're looking for By the Thousands drummer Wilson, who is, he's quite the savant, I must say. With women.
Oh,
so
okay.
he comes running out 5 minutes later after the fire trucks are out, everything. And we're like, dude, where the fuck were you? There was a fire. And he's like, I was inside. And we're like, what? And he's like, when you have pussy, you got pussy. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? He's ready to die for this shit.
God.
Definitely can't beat those Europeans.
Dude, no, you can't. No, you can't. I love Europe. The best hospitality, the best venues.
And and that's another thing is like they strive for American music, no matter what
dude.
the genre is.
Even in like you play in Germany and they're standing with their arms crossed and you think they're mad, but they're just like absorbing every little thing.
Yeah.
And then after the show, they're like, dude, that was sick. I had such a great time. And you're like, you did?
It's like you look like you were bored out of your freaking gourd.
It's dope.
So take note, you can stand at a show with your arms crossed, and we know exactly what you're doing.
You're taking in the vibes.
I know there are is like you sit there and be like, cool. Granted, I know that they've never seen us before, but okay, cool. We're gonna sit here and play our 30, 45 hour set or whatnot. It's like then all of a sudden they're coming up to you. It's like that was awesome, dude. You're like, really? It's like I saw you stand there like you were just ready to commit suicide or something.
Yeah. It's funny.
Okay, we did actually have another question. What venue haven't you played that you would love to? Anybody can start.
I'll say Red
That's an
Rocks.
easy one for me. Madison Square Gardens. Everyone wants to play Madison Square Gardens.
MSG.
There you go. Okay, we got Red Rocks from Cameron. We got Madison Square Gardens from Grant. How about you, Chris?
I would say like maybe like Royal Albert Hall. I think that'd be dope.
Mm-hmm.
Over in England.
Oh, okay.
That'd be super sick.
JC, one of our general manager of Asylum. What did I pop in on? You popped in on Poop Stories.
Hell yeah.
Brooks, those drum vids you've been doing are amazing. I know also Mr. Cameron has some videos that he's lately been doing.
Cameron plays drums on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Just Cameron plays drums.
Just Cameron plays drums.
That's all.
How about you, Chris? You got a YouTube page or anything that people can check out where you got some?
Yeah, my Instagram and then my Facebook, just Chris Deets, and then my band Doppelganger Official for YouTube. I actually just put out a cover of Era's Snowblood and then a Weekend cover. And I just don't know about TikTok yet. I'm an old man fighting against the times.
Okay, listen here, sir. I know you're younger than I am.
It's better algorithms.
I know it is. I know it is.
Like, hey, let's show your dumb video to like 10,000 people.
I know.
And what's nice about TikTok, you can also link it with your Facebook page. So
Yeah.
as soon as you make a TikTok video, guess what? It's right there on your Facebook page.
You know what it is? I just don't want to fill out the information to set up the account. That's it.
That's where you get somebody else in the band or to do it for you.
Don't worry. I'm gonna watch Rocky one day and get super motivated, and then I'm just gonna be like dun 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 dun. I'm like, I'm doing it.
And then run to the top of the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. I would say we can go as long as we want, but if there aren't any more questions, if you are new to the show or just came in or whatnot, Mr. Chris Deets, I've been doing this forever and I still forget. Chris Deets belongs to a band called Doppelganger. Make sure you go check out his Facebook page and the Doppelganger band page. Mr. Grant Brooks, I know a lot of people know already from the band Through Fire. So obviously go hop on Spotify, obviously Apple, Facebook, Instagram. Look up T Fire Brooks is his handle. He does have a TikTok also with some of his drum vids and probably up soon coming. He is on tour with Fozzy, Through Fire, and Fozzy will be on tour later this fall. So make sure you hop onto his TikTok and check out some of his videos. Mr. Cameron Franklin is new to the national circuit playing for Fate Destroyed. So make sure you go to Cameron Plays Drums only plays drums or something like that. And
Never
his
played drums.
Fate Destroyed. They are on Rebel Rock this September. And then they also have some tours coming up that are officially unannounced and a couple more festivals as well. So make sure you hop over to the band pages, their individual pages. And with them coming onto Asylum Network, we will actually be in cohorts and actually share a lot of their stuff as well. So, gentlemen, first off, thank you for spending the end of your Mother's Day and taking time with us and being on the show.
Of course.
I do appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll definitely,
Thank you for having us,
come
man.
back and I'm sorry. Dog Grant said something, but we'll definitely have you guys back on in the future. I know we're getting through the rest of May. We're booked. We're starting to book in June. And one thing I have said on the previous episodes is I definitely like to get a little Hollywood Squares thing going on here because I know I can fit 10 people on this screen. So it'd be kind of fun to actually have a little bit of challenging and quiz and up-to-date info on some things going on in our lives. But thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, public. Make sure to tune in next Sunday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Who Gave the Drummer a Mic. So thank you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a great week, and make sure to stay tuned Wednesday. We'll have a couple more guests coming on next week. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good one, man.
See ya.
Later.